So hello everybody, I am Manisha and today I will be discussing about the topic which is from the subject Social Studies of class 8th. It is from history. So before going to the topic directly, we'll interact for a few minutes. I have a question, like tell me what were the social and religious evils you have been observed in our earlier times, or you have been listening about them from your parents or from your grandfathers or from someone else. Social and religious reform earlier in Indian society in earlier times. So we have like untouchability. Next we have women sati. Next we have child marriages. Next we have after child marriage we have like parda system, role of priest, superstition, polygamy. So these were the few social and religious evils you can see. Social and religious evils. So these evils, how it got reduced and by whom? So it was reduced by conduction of various social movements. And it was conducted by whom? It was conducted by various social reformers. Now I guess you can guess the chapter name. It is chapter 19, Social and Religious Reform Movement in India. Please copy this. So now, as our topic is Social and Religious Reform Movement, chapter number 19 from Social Studies. So now we will discuss about Bhakti movement. So what is Bhakti movement? So Bhakti movement, it is based on the doctrine where there is a direct relationship between man and God through love and worship. There is no need of performing any kind of ceremony related to God or based on some religious, no differences. The simple way is, if we love God, that's enough. We can meet the God if we love them. So this Bhakti movement was based on that doctrine. And also we have some main features of Bhakti movement. So the main features were like intense love and devotion as a means of salvation. Intense love have to be there from our side and full devotion should be there to God. Next we have unity of God, like all God are one. We should treat every religion equal. Next, rejection of rituals and ceremonies. As I told, the doctrine of Bhakti movement depends on equal treatment to every God by just loving. The direct connection to God is only through love and worship. And for that, we don't need to conduct any or arrange any ceremonies or rituals performance. Directly, if we love, that's enough to reach our God. and there was no caste discrimination, and we have to keep an open mind on religious and gender issues. We have to be very openly we have to very openly think that every religion is equally important as our own religion is. The way we treat to our religion has to be treated to others also. Next, they allowed both men and women to seek salvation. They even took their meals together from the common kitchen. Next, they also condemned that women infanticides and so, as I said, the main motive of the Bhakti movement was to reduce or to demolish all these differences in religious believing in different gods based on their own respective religions. So, this Narayanas and Alvas, they were completely opposed to the Brahmanical domination, and most of these were the poetries. They focused on the love between the devotees and God. They spoke and wrote in vernacular like Tamil and Telugu. So they spoke and wrote in vernacular like Tamil and Telugu, so that the common people could easily read and recite it. And the presence of priests was not required in this Bhakti movement. They don't believe that there is a need of priest. It's simply the man, the devotee with the God in love, and that's it. They don't want any kind of mediator to help them to reach their own God or to pray the God. They simply just have to a good connection between the devotees and the God through the love path. This made their movement immensely popular. As there was no priest, that is why this got more popularity. And together, this Narayanas and Alvas formed the foundation of Bhakti movement in India. So this was the way how it got originated. Next, there were some issues of 19th century society in India. What were those uh, problems or issues during that time? There were there were two types. There were general and specific. In general, there will be like superstition, education outdated, even women sati, child marriages, parda, education there were differences. Men were only were able to study, whereas women they were not allowed to study only. Next, we have female infanticides, untouchability. Next comes specific problems. Here we can see sati, widow, upper caste, Hindu child marriage, parda, untouchability. These are very special problems which we can see in issues of 19th century society in India. Next, we have influence of social reformers on Indian society. So, what was the influence of these social reformers on Indian society? So, we were able to do scientific inquiry, or we were able to develop our logical thinking. We were moving towards the thought where we can think everybody needs education, everybody has their own circumstances, own differences, and everybody has to be equally respected. So this was the influence of social reformers on Indian society. These influence also helped the women to overcome their problems like sati or child marriages. Slowly, it has taken time, but of course, it has been overcome. Next, we will study about Christian missionaries. So I request you to open the textbook, page number 212 of class 8, Social Studies. So here you can see the Indian through means of social reforms have been correcting the orthodoxy and updating their perspective world throughout history. So there was total orthodoxy we can see in all these things, like people where they follow only sati system of women and parda system and untouchability. So all these things reflects that the orthodoxy was at a very high level in earlier times. It has to be overcome. It definitely has to be overcome. So what happened? They continued to imbibe new forms of knowledge. So because the social reformers, it got little updated, the orthodoxy got reduced, and slowly we were moving towards the development, the changes in society. So in that way, like many Christian missionaries came to India along with the European companies to preach Christianity in India. Actually, the Britishers, the Christian missionaries, they actually want the Christianity to be spread all over India. And in that time, what happened is, of course, every opposite will have a positive reaction. In that case, they try to do so. They try to spread the Christianity in India. Along with that, they also has come up with some good changes in our society. Like we can say the education system, and also the some kind of we can see the oriental scholars we got. And who were these oriental scholars? Let's learn about this. So now we are discussing about Christian missionaries. So they these people are nothing but the Britishers. So they severely criticize the existing religious practices and beliefs and try to persuade people to adopt Christianity. So when the Britishers has come to India, they were completely against, completely denying whatever the Indian religious has been during that time. As there were some good and as well as some bad things in our religions during that time. Let's suppose example is untouchability, or we can say the sati system, the child marriage, the polygamy. So these were few things, the parda. So they were completely opposite, and that is why they want the Christianity to be taken all over the India, so that these things will be overcome. These problems of women's or differences in caste, religion will be overcome, because in Christianity we're not having such kind of any differences in religious or in gender or anything. At the same time, they also established many educational institutions, hospitals, and charity services to serve the poor and needy. So they have developed our India by developing hospitals and many charity services in order to serve the poor and the needy people. They helped in spreading many new ideas among the people. Soon, soon, there was a debate conducted between the Christian missionaries and the leaders of Hindus and Islams, as each tried to defend their own religious ideas. So every these three Christian missionaries people and the Hindu people, Hindu leader and the Islam leader, these three they were talking only about their religions only. Like their religious is more superior. And while doing that, what happened means Hindu people came to know about something about Christianity. Similarly, people came to know about Hindu and Christianity. So what happened means the ideas got exchanged, and something it was discussed about religious differences. Such debates helped people not only to understand each other's idea, but also encourage them to inquire into the original and basic tenets of their own religions. When one religion people will be pointing out the other defects in other religion, what happen means that other religion people will like they will survey why this point has been arised actually. Is it so? Is it the problem there? So similarly happened that time also. They got exchanged their ideas, and they went a deep into things like why this weak point has been arise from our religion, and why that religion is more good in that case compared to ours. So what happened means, after that, after the debate, several European scholars studied the ancient literature of Indian. So all these European scholars, they study our literature and then translated them and published them as books. And since they not only studied books of the Eastern countries but were also influenced by them, therefore they were called Orientalists. Means after they translated all our ancient literature, what happened was there was a drastic change in people's mind after studying those books. So now these books are available for all to study. Few names of the Christian missionaries we can say, like William James, and one more we have Max Muller. So these two people were very much famous in Oriental scholars who has translated our ancient literature into English, and this helped the spread of our religion to all over mostly India, and everybody was able to read and understand. Even all these Britishers people, they try to learn and they try to understand what is the flaws and what are the good things in our religions, in Indian culture. So as the ancient Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Persian, and Arabic books got translated into European languages, the rich and diverse cultural heritage of the country was recognized by all. This enabled the people to reinterpret their own religions better with the help of these new ideas. So, as every language of our India got translated into English, every related culture things. So, what happened means it was recognized by everybody. It was our India got fame. Oh my God! Like these Indian people have so many cultures, so many religions, so many rituals. So we got fame, and this enabled the people to interpret their own religions. After reading about their own religions, they got to know what are the good things and what are the bad things need to be changed. Some ideas have been recognized by the social reformers, and the European introduced printing press in India, and then the Britishers, they introduced printing press. It made the appearance of many newspapers and magazines possible. Books were also published in different languages. These made books accessible to a large number of people at a very low cost. People could now carry on debates and discussions through these newspapers, magazines. So all these books and newspapers, these helped people into getting into debates and getting into discussion. What other things has to be changed in our culture? What other things need to be developed for the women's safety or for the women's role? So here was the starting of this, level up for the women's when the Britishers arrived in India. So we have next topic, we have Brahma Samaj. We will discussing in the next class. Thank you. So as I told, like next class we will be continuing with Raja Rammohun Roy. So before concluding the class, you have an activity. So whenever you have a free time, please discuss the influence of Christian missionaries on Indian society, and you have to collect the information related to Christian missionaries' influence on Indian society. And this is the home assignment. Explain the importance of printing press in reform movement. And this home assignment I will be checking tomorrow. So make sure you all complete that. Thank you.